Welcome to the Cincy Postcast. I'm Kevin Wallace, and before we get started with today's episode, I get to tell you about our friends over at Streetside Brewery. That's right, the best Cincinnati brewery. Well, in Cincinnati, how about that? They're over on the east side of Cincinnati in the Columbia-Tusculum neighborhood over there. It's an awesome place. You got to check them out. There's always some cool events going on. They have a huge variety of beers. I have not had a bad beer yet from them. It is really, really good stuff. Highly recommend it. They have a food truck out front, at least one at all times, so you can always get some food there. It's a really good setup. Now, let me tell you, this weekend, FC Cincinnati is away, and Streetside is an official pub partner of FC Cincinnati. So go watch the game there. All right? That just makes a lot of sense. Go out to Streetside, check them out. When you're there, mention the postcast, mention this podcast. They'll knock $1 off of your beer there when you're closing out your tab. It's a really good deal for just having to admit that you listen to this podcast, and you get to support a great local business, great local brewery. So go check out Streetside, like I said, over in Columbia-Tusculum. Good time. Check them out this weekend. Why not? What better time to go check them out than the first away game in league play for FC Cincinnati? It's a good time. Go check them out. And on today's episode, well, we just got finished watching a win. No, not a win, but it feels like a win for FC Cincinnati. They advance in the CONCACAF Champions League. The babies got a run out in this one. How did the new guys do? How did the young guys do in this one? We run it all down for you. In part 2, it's a lot of Patreon questions as well as an Oscars roundup. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. Then we wrap it all up with, I think, just a couple of minutes on Philadelphia this weekend. You put it all together, you got yourselves a classic postcast. Joining me to talk about all of that and more, I'm joined by two gentlemen fresh off of I was going to say win, but a draw, but
a
passage.
Win draw.
Passage through the first round.
Successful. A successful second leg is the way I think we should term it.
I think that is correct. I was not able to attend in person. These two were joined by the Chief, joined by Grayson. Chief, did they play Mr. Brightside?
They did not. But you know what they did do is before I had even made it home to tape this, I already got the email taunting me that I had forgotten to opt out and that my card has been charged for the next round of games.
Wasting no time.
No. So when we ask who the real winners were, the real winners were the fine people at the FCC ticket office with all the suckers like myself who were, oh yeah, I need to remember to opt out, and then just completely forgot.
I saw somebody in our Discord said, hey, is that opt-out date like later today? They're like, ooh January 31st, my guy.
Yeah, we're about a month late on that one. I think the opt-out should be whenever you want. Like, as long as you manage to hit the opt-out button, we'll say like before the full-time whistle on this game, I think your opt-out should count.
Yeah.
Or I could just change my credit card number too. Like really go full sicko.
You got to put a prepaid, credit card on file. So that is
like a small like living hell when you have to get a new credit card number and you have to change all of the things that are tied to auto paying that. It's simultaneously a good opportunity to reassess how many things are just being charged to you, but also a supremely annoying thing when, oh, well, why is that not working? Oh, it got decoupled from paying on its credit card.
I'm thinking about doing one of those things where you like call a guy and and you meet him in like a parking lot at 2 a.m. and then you pay him like $50,000 and he gives you like a new passport, new name, new everything. And then you wake up in like Sitka, Alaska. Right.
Yeah.
And you're like a clerk. You're like a clerk at the last video store. And it's all to like avoid paying for the opt-in for like the next round of Champions Cup.
Just a new identity, a new family. Just go full witness protection.
Just fake your own death to avoid being charged for this round of 16 CONCACAF
We're
Champions
doing
Cup.
an eraser. I forgot to opt out, so we're doing an eraser.
Oh my god!
They really wanted that tagline. Relax, you've been erased. They wanted that to be the line of the summer.
Of
and
course,
it just wasn't. It's a good movie, though.
It's a good movie. Good movie. I like most of Arnold's movies, to be honest.
Did you see there was the internet meme going around this week of what is it with guys and Arnold? And never has a dumber question been posed to the internet.
Come on,
right?
Yeah. What?
I don't know. I don't understand the question.
No, the question was just, it was one of those rhetorical. What is it with men, like middle-aged men, and loving Arnold Schwarzenegger? Basically, like somebody on the internet asking, "I don't understand the appeal." Which.
So why don't people ever make like make an effort to like try to understand something? They just like throw out a question. They're just like, what is it with this thing? Like,
well, this is so easy to understand, though. Like,
I'm sorry. Watch True Lies.
Watch Last Action Hero. Watch The Terminator.
Watch Jingle All the Way. He's a middle American dad in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's so good.
And
Watch
he sounds
Commando.
just like him.
Watch Commando. He's somehow Alyssa Milano's father living up in the mountains. The tweet was from Lily Billy 299. What's up with straight men and Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Come on.
Okay, well, first of all, let's be a little honest. Like, there's no way it's just straight men.
No
come
chance.
He's
no chance.
He's a bodybuilder by trade. That's what got him here to this country. Come on.
Yeah, every time he does a curl, he's... Never mind.
Yeah. It was Conan. Come on.
I have a problem with this thing where it's like, I want to like, I'm trying to go like viral and complain about something, but like, I have to restrict my observation to like the exact group. Yeah, it's like, okay, and I'm not even trying to do like you can like the only group you can make fun of these days is straight white men, because like this is like hack.
Yes.
Right.
No,
like,
this is what's the deal with airline food?
This is
what
a hack attempt at it. I'm sorry. Like I saw that other tweet where a girl was like, she was like, oh, I had a like straight men can't like take care of themselves, or they don't know how to be adults. I had one over, and he was like complimenting me on my like knife block and all of my art, and it was like, and all of this stuff is really cheap. And if he'd had like any sense of how to like live, he would understand that. And someone needs to teach straight men how to like be adults. Like, no, he's
just being nice.
First of all, this is made up.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that happened.
Second of all you've done is like describe somebody who's being nice.
Right. or even worse, that your apartment, like, in fact, what the case is your living space is so devoid of anything interesting to talk about. He is picking out the knife block, the rug, and the one piece of art that you have that's on the wall that's interesting.
I do always wonder though, when I see stuff like this, is it's like, okay, well, like, is this somebody with just a humiliation kink?
We don't shame about that. And by
offer, right. I certainly don't shame. My concern is that I don't want to unwittingly be a part of somebody's humiliation kink.
Right.
Yeah.
So I usually just move on.
Consent is important in these spaces.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And
I like
police my own consent pretty rigorously.
I like the knife block compliment in particular, because like, a lot of people also do like the magnet strip. So
I do the magnet strip. I like it. I like to do the Hattori Hanzo, like throw the knife against the Like I pull it out. I pull the knife. I get done cleaning the knife, and I just like throw it against the knife block. I feel like a king.
Well, the other
like a samurai.
I mean, you do have to check the knife block out, just because it is kind of a shorthand to know how likely you are to get stabbed and killed.
I also think it tells you, does this person eat out a lot or do they cook? Like what is the knife situation here? Like, That's pretty telling.
Well, I mean, you'd really need to like pull the knife out and try to cut something to see whether or not they've actually been properly sharpened or they're just sitting there. Because
right.
I also think about like
knives.
I also think about like when I was a single guy, like I would not have noticed a single thing in your apartment. Not one thing.
Right.
No, if somebody came over to my apartment, it would be, that's a really nice futon couch you have there, huh?
It could have been the nicest apartment I ever been in. Like,
I don't care. I don't notice these.
Yeah.
I didn't notice because I was broke. So what the hell am I going to notice? I don't know what good shit and bad shit is.
Yeah, no.
I'm drowning in debt from school, man. Like, you're lucky I still have some of the posters from college on the wall.
Right.
I learned what anthropology was like 2 years ago.
I still can't afford to shop there. Pottery Barn in this economy?
Come on.
Restoration hardware?
Please.
I still lean on good old IKEA.
Look, yeah, I was about to say, if it doesn't have seven consonants consecutively on the furniture box and come with a bent piece of metal to put it together, it's too fancy for me. I'm not dealing with it.
No, everything I joke, but like literally everything in my house is like West Elm. So like the back is too short and there's not enough cushion for like the throw pillow that's also on there.
Good.
So you're like constantly just like leaning down, moving stuff out of your way. You're like, you know.
Yeah. It's good. That's good.
Love it.
So how about the Motagua game?
I'm about to say, talking furniture is way more interesting than this game. But you know what? You know what, Kevin?
What's that?
On a scale of 10 to 11, how excited were you when the lineups dropped and you saw a friend and recurring guest of the postcast, Evan Loro, penciled in to the starting 11? I was smiling. I was proud parent moment right there.
On a scale of 10 to 11, I was at a 12 because Evan, and therefore I'm assuming the coaching staff, one of the 12. All right. Come on. They heard it. They wanted that postcast bump and they might have gotten it.
I may or may not have texted a certain member, another recurring guest of the postcast, to ask if they're in the locker room. Can you please ask Evan if he wants to dedicate tonight's performance to the 12 listeners of the Cincy Postcast?
Well, I hope Evander does that. So I thought it was set up really well because there was the quote like a day or two ago where they asked Pat about rotation and Pat said, "Nah, only the most deserving possible people are going to play in this game. Like, we know we have a big head start. We know we've got a congested schedule, but the people that put out there are the people who've earned it over anybody." Boom. And that's beautiful. I agree.
That's spoken like a man that was driving one of the only vans that didn't have body damage down in spring training.
Yep. Maybe many people are saying the only van.
Oh, I was so happy Evan got the nod. That was I was hoping, we were all hoping that would be the case going into tonight. It actually made sense. So set aside all the other reasons, Roman got a yellow card in the first round. If he picked up another yellow card, he would have been suspended for the first match against Tigres. So
some strategy there. How about that?
Yeah,
that's a good point that I also knew.
Yeah, no.
I also remember that. I also remember that.
Remember that happening, and I looked up the accumulation rules for the CONCACAF.
If that was actually true, would this be the first time in soccer history a goalkeeper was held out of a second leg for fear of another yellow? The all too frequent double yellow to the keeper.
I mean, it was brought up in a meeting, I'm sure, before this game.
That's Pat Noonan, man. He's playing 3-dimensional chess while you're still playing, throw rocks at one another.
Pretty sure Pat is playing like pickleball.
Yeah. Well, I mean, chess
based on his quotes from the
chess is a one-syllable word. It's not a big word.
3-dimensional chess.
Isn't all chess 3-dimensional?
Yes, but there is the variant there. You're playing on 3 planes, as it were. But yes,
that's The board is flat, so that would just be it's 2-dimensional. The pieces may be 3-dimensional.
I can see the side of the board. That seems pretty 3-dimensional to me.
But it's the third dimension.
I can perceive the depth of it.
But if the board didn't have any, if the board didn't have that third dimension, you could still play chess.
How would you move a chess piece in 2-dimensional chess?
I appreciate both of you discussing this as if 99% of chess isn't played online in a flat 2-dimensional void.
Yeah, because the pieces only move 2 directions. They only move up and down and side to side. It only moves in 2 dimensions.
Yeah, but they stick out.
But they only move in 2 dimensions.
You gotta topple the king when you lose.
That's true.
Yeah. No.
Well, anyway, Noonan's playing Chinese checkers, and the rest of the league is
that's problematic.
Noonan's playing euchre.
Chinese checkers does feel problematic. I don't know if there's a better name I'm supposed to use for that game.
Well, we said going.
Is there another name for Chinese checkers? Put it in the chat, folks.
Yeah,
put it in the chat.
If there is
a name for Chinese
chat,
checkers,
help us out here, chat.
Without using like a racially charged term.
Yeah, if there is, 1, let me know. 2, cancel me. So
we got into this debate the other day. Is ping pong cancelable?
Isn't the official term table tennis?
Table tennis, yeah. But like if you call it ping pong, is that a problem?
Probably your tone determines how canceled you are.
I mean, you're better off not saying it. It's like my rule of thumb.
Right.
Is
like
like
you
I'm
have to
better
ask,
off just not saying anything.
Right. If you have to ask at the restoration hardware, you can't afford it. That sort of thing.
Yeah. Just walk in and out.
Yeah.
Don't talk to
this
anybody.
Doesn't have a price tag?
When they ask you if you need help, you're just looking. You're always just looking.
I say always. What do you got?
But
should I do a Roth or a traditional with my 401k? I'm thinking about it. Should I split it half and half? I don't know.
My meme coin investment really paid off. So yes, I am thinking about adding the Ottoman to this chair set.
Should I keep holding the Trump coin? Should I buy the dip? Or should I guess it's already rugged. I don't know.
All right. Saving up for the $5 million gold card. So
you can tell the economy's bad because I had set like a like limit buy if like Doge went to a really low number, and it hit today.
Oh no.
Grayson's flush with Dogecoin.
By the dip,
taking the postcast to the moon. Kevin, give us the lineups.
Oh, that lineup. It was very well rotated, I would say. You had our good friend Evan Loro in goal. You had everybody's favorite backline of Alvis Powell, Miles Robinson, and Noah Adnan as the back there. Amir Daly was your starting right wing back with the one and only Brett Halsey as your left wing back.
He is alive.
He is alive. He got a start. Imagine that. Anunga got the start in midfield alongside the ever-present Pavel Buka. And up top,
it's a meme at this point.
He played 79 minutes of this
There
game.
will always be a Buka in the midfield.
There must always be a Buka. We'll put Molly up there.
We'll start calling him the shark. If he stops moving, he dies.
Ain't no rule says a dog can't play soccer. Pet.
Airbud?
Trying to think what I can't remember the word for dog in Czech. I think it's like
it's on the tip of my tongue. C check run check run.
Yeah, I think like doggy is like C check. I may be wrong. We'll see. We'll look it up later.
But then it was Bear Denke and some guy named Ferreira. Oh, Evander. That was a joke, folks. It was
Fat Mob killing me with that.
I know. Come on now. As a funny lineup, Miles Robinson started with the armband. He came out at halftime. Brian Anunga gets the armband in the second half, which really only felt like a slap to maybe Baird or Powell, who were like the only other two.
Or Yuya. We were joking that, you have to show up on time for camp in order to get the armband.
I wasn't joking when I had that thought.
Buka didn't get it. Maybe a thought there.
He was too tired at that point.
That's true.
It's just been running nonstop for a year.
So yeah, it was an interesting lineup. They very quickly concede the first goal 10 minutes in.
Before we get too far off it, I do want to note that not in the 11, but in the 18.
Oh, that's right.
Nicholas Hagland, Cincinnati's own.
Welcome
back and available for selection.
They teased us.
They're not going to debut
so bad.
They're not going to debut him in a half-filled building on a Wednesday. That's not going to happen. They want the pop.
People would have popped.
Yeah, but there's not enough of people there. You want the sold-out crowd.
First of all, there was 21,000 people.
No, there was
announced attendance.
There were there were 12,000 people and 9,000 really disappointed people that none of the tickets were moving on SeatGeek.
There were more people at the Louisville Open Cup game in 2019. 2016, whatever, 2017. That's the one I was thinking of. Anyway, let me ask you this. Yes, Chief or Grayson here. Got a text message.
Fact, that Louisville game in 2017, my only time in the Bailey.
Wow.
Perfect.
And he never returned again afterwards.
There were legitimately like 2,000 people at that game. But the post Damon Gumbert texts me, am I wrong? Or didn't they say Miazga was expected to be back before Hagland? I'm a little concerned about this.
Other way around. They've been saying for a while. They've been saying for a while that, because Hagland, people forget, Miazga had the laceration that turned into a multiple ligament tear of the knee. Hagland only had a broken leg, and the timetable for returning from a break is almost always quicker than ligament damage. So
what's the thing in Temple of Doom?
Kalima?
Yeah. So Kalima reached out and ripped out.
Mola Ram was the guy. Yeah.
Mola reached out and ripped out Miazga's ligaments.
Yes.
There are no more ligaments in Matt Miazga's leg.
As Nick Hagland screamed on short round, cover your leg, Matt.
Yeah.
TBD on the Miazga timeline, I guess, but good to see Hagland out there on the bench, also available for selection.
Also, it's weird that Damon Gumbert, sorry to say his full name,
thank you.
The post Damon Gumbert,
thank you,
texted that to you instead of asking it to somebody who he has access to ask the question to.
But you don't want to sound stupid asking that question if it's already been brought up before, I think.
Yeah.
No, just
our media relationship is tenuous at best with the club. I think we're one bad question away from being kicked off campus.
I think he should be in the post game press conference, no matter who the person is answering questions, and just say, what the flip is going on with Matt Miazga?
It'd have been great to have asked that of the Motagua head coach.
Right? Yeah.
That would actually that'd be a really funny bit if you were in the press room and you knew that they needed you and they couldn't kick you out, to start every question off with, what the fuck?
No, hold on. So I was at the game today, and a guy walked up to me and he's like, I've been listening to the postcast with my son. And I was like, okay.
Oh, is this the Santa guy?
No, but
okay.
I'm going to endeavor
to
watch my language.
Off to a great start on this episode.
I'm reminded of the Will Smith don't need to cuss in his raps to sell records.
I do.
Well, I do. So flip him and flip you too.
Well, as I said before, 10 minutes into this game, Motagua goes up 1-0. Adnan gets beat bad by Osmendi, Auzmendi.
Look on his work, see mighty in
FC
despair.
Porto Academy. Product,
I was
I
gonna
believe.
say he was really good.
So it's funny. I was sitting next to my sister, and she was like asking questions about the other team, and I said, "Well, 29 is actually like really good, actually like a really good player." And a minute later, he scored.
So it's your fault.
Yep. I'm just saying. I don't know what the situation there is, but if we ever got desperate later this year,
They've
give
got
me a
a
look.
I think he's a guy. To be honest,
He's shifty. He's
I liked him.
It was another Motagua goal where Pat called out the first time. They love whipping balls in, and apparently Adnan maybe was thinking he'd bought a match ticket instead of actually participating in the game, because he got smoked on that run. Like that was not great. I would say when they watch it back, Evan may want to or wish that he would have come out to collect that. I get that it's you trust your defense in that moment, or you try to trust your defense in that moment, but you know, it's one of those things too where you're dealing with a makeshift back line. This is a guy Adnan that doesn't play a whole bunch. He made a mental error. It's one of those ones where if you come out and you're off your line and you get beat because you're off your line, everyone says, "What the hell were you doing there? Let your defense play."
Right.
If you stand back and your defender gets beat, you end up looking silly too. So it was kind of a no-win situation for Evan. To be clear, though, this was a terrible play from Adnan. He calmed down almost immediately afterwards and looked good for the rest of the game. And Ian Murphy looked like crap his first couple of games playing.
Yeah.
I am not interested in seeing more Adnan at any time in the future, but that's also not to say that I think he should be written off completely, because he had a couple of less than stellar moments in the 2 games he played.
Yeah. I mean, between his preseason, his first game against Motagua, and tonight's game, my initial reaction is like, oh, this guy doesn't have a future in professional soccer. But I do think that we kind of have like a moral obligation to keep him on the team, because I remembered he's a Stanford graduate.
Oh, yeah.
And so if we don't keep him playing soccer in like 3 months, he's going to be like sitting at an email saying like, oh, yeah, Veterans Affairs doesn't cover dental anymore.
NATO? Oh no, that doesn't exist anymore.
Or giving
So we're done with that.
Or giving an interview to NPR demanding that the reporter fact check where he possibly could have been on a certain night.
Oh no, we'll get to that guy.
Well, nothing against good old Adnan. I will say, if nothing,
Too soon to give up on him.
If nothing else,
Hey, he's a 2-team player. He's up on his second loan.
Yeah.
It's also it's a game you're up 4-1 on aggregate. He was just there to churn minutes and keep the things from getting out of control.
I appreciate the effort. And you know, he put in like, did he go the full? I think he went the full 90, right?
He went the full 90.
Yeah, good for him.
He had 76 of 81 accurate passes. Now, most of those are going back to the keeper, but you know, you take what you can get there. Won 2 of his 4 aerial duels. Not too bad. Yeah, this is a guy that is supposed to eat up minutes while we wait for Miazga and Hagelin to get healthy, while Flores gets, used to being with the team. Yedlin was able to take some time off in this game. So yeah, mission accomplished here. This was
if he ends up giving like meaningful minutes to the first team, we've won the lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Or
right.
Something has gone horribly wrong.
Right. Or we lost the lottery.
Right. But I think at this point, like, yeah, like you can critique his play, but
yeah,
it really doesn't matter. Maybe he develops and just gotta root for him.
Yeah. On a similar-ish note, I'll say Amir Daly, awesome. I thought he
Yeah.
did
Looked
really good and
I would
was
say pretty good, but yeah.
yeah. I was sad to see him break his collarbone. Is that what we watched?
Wait, is that what happened?
The trainer pressed on his collarbone. He immediately winced,
Whoa.
and they pulled him off immediately.
Yeah, it was
I'm
an immediate
hoping it's a dislocation, but it looked pretty bad. He wasn't able to move his left arm, I think it was. Yeah, not great.
And he was
Not
having,
great.
I think he was having, I would agree with Kevin. I thought he was having a very good game. I thought that he looked lively. I thought his play, good runs, good touches. It was his birthday. It was his first team debut.
Yes,
Sucks for that to be the way it ends. But I left of the kids, so to speak, I left with a very favorable impression of Daly and how he played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to go through the rest of the kids, or do we want to talk about Denke's third goal in 3 games?
So as to the kids, Sharilla's going to get there, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get there. He was in the right spots like multiple times, and it's just like, oh, like his touch was too heavy, or he didn't get his foot on the ball there. He
was trying to doing too much is what it looked like he was trying to do a little bit.
Sharilla's going to get there. This is definitely like games not played on a spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta watch the game kind of analysis, but he seemed like a handful.
Yeah.
And
he was annoying their defenders, which is good.
I think he'll get there.
Haircuts got to go. The broccoli head's got to go.
I want to see Bronson Arroyo cornrows. Come on, baby.
I really wanted him to get a goal today.
Yeah.
And I think that like he really wasn't that far off.
He straight up stole a goal from Corey Baird trying to score one.
He did.
The only other thing I would note about Chirilla, and this goes out to, or this is a shout out to, again, friend of the postcast, Carter Chapley, that pointed this out, that Chirilla, look at the back of his jersey, look at the back of his kit, goes by
right.
S. Chirilla, which is major manifesting, we're going to need my brother up here too energy.
I like that.
I think it shows it's like a humble lunch pail coach's son kind of move.
He asked for Cincinnati, but they told him they can't do that legally.
I don't want a name on the back of my jersey. I'm playing for the name on the front.
He asked for his parish to be put on the back.
Now we're talking. It's
he wanted his old St. Mary's on the back of his kit.
Just put Roger Bacon on there.
Flores, I don't really include him with the kids, but
he's just good.
He looks really good. Here's a controversial statement. He is Mosquera without the offense.
Yeah, that is a controversial statement.
I'm not there yet.
I just think he's good. He's good. Let him just be good, and we'll find out how good he is together.
That's fair.
I'm about ready to call him like Albright's best U22 signing.
I think that's true, even if he sucks the rest of this year.
I think he's already proven that part. Who's he competing against?
Was Mosquera on a U22 designation?
Oh,
but he was on loan, so you can like kind of pull him out of it, right?
I think your options are, and I don't know if he actually ever had this tag, but no, I think it's only Angulo.
Well, and that's true, because if you exclude loans, because Kelsey was U22.
Oh, yeah.
Barrial was U22.
But he was not an Albright.
But he was an Albright signing.
That's who I was thinking of. I forgot about Kelsey. So
it's
Angulo and Kelsey.
I didn't mean to break it down. I am ready to say that Flores is good.
Yeah. I have no problem with Flores starting.
I don't necessarily. I'm not sure I'm ready for like Flores to be like an everyday starter. I mean, he's going to be starting games for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not unhappy that he's starting. I'll put it that way. I don't think he should be starting when everyone's healthy, but
I like what I've seen, and I liked him getting minutes in the center of the back three today.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good
I feel like a vote of confidence.
Yeah, exactly. That's the exact phrase I was looking for. Yeah, it was a good vote of confidence for his abilities there.
Gave Robinson 45 minutes off. Like that's good stuff right there. That was the whole goal of this game. Get through and give some people some time off. And they did that spectacularly.
And I think Flores looked good with Powell and Adnan on either side of him. Like that feels like it'd be hard to do. So that was very well done. But I gotta say, Kenji Momba Dem.
We dem boys.
Oh my God. He's the real deal.
I am not opposed to more minutes.
I love him so much.
I'm intrigued.
I don't want
very intrigued.
I don't think he's like part of your like 15. But I think he's a guy who like you find first team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to the extent you get like loans for cup competitions or I don't know what the state of the supplemental roster is. Like, is he on the, I don't think he's on the supplemental roster. I think he's a 2-team player.
I think he's a 2-team who got a loan up. Yeah, that's right. He got a loan up from the 2-team.
By what I've seen, we do seem to have some room on the supplemental roster. I'm not against having him on there and giving him some time because, like, honestly, when he was on the field, he seemed like the best player on the team.
Yeah.
Like he was like more dangerous. Like he was at least as dangerous as like Kubo and Baird.
Right. He has a skill set that I think actually lets you swap almost 1-for-1 with Buka, which is who he came in for. And I think, need to have that position covered. So I think he serves a valuable role.
He is on the FCC2 roster. He was a short-term loan today, along with Noah Adnan and Amir Daly were the loans for today.
Here's what I'm ready for. I'm ready to give Kenji all of Brett Halsey's first team minutes.
I thought Halsey looked okay. I looked all right.
I think I'm ready for him to start his podcast where he has on OnlyFans women and he yells at them about like traditional gender roles.
No, he'll be trying to sell them a house, right?
Yeah, it'll be the 5 real estate secrets they don't want you to know.
You got to read Jordan Peterson's 6 books.
That would be a great.
Those are the secrets.
That'd be a great reality show concept: selling houses to OnlyFans stars, where it's like,
see.
You're looking, it's like, okay, now this has a great room where you can do content here, and there's another great room with a nice
look at the natural lighting in this
natural
room.
lighting. This one has a great view overlooking things, but people can't see into you. So great, and here's a room for your collaborators to get dressed.
Incredible stuff.
It's got a front door and a back door. We have saloon doors on this room.
I can't believe that Dem is only 1 year younger than Halsey. So it's not even like you're getting that much younger there. But
yeah, I don't know. I think Halsey did a couple of nice things, but it was like a classic Halsey game.
Yeah, he's got one move. He's like the dude on the dance floor that can only do the pickup change or like the shopping cart. Like he cuts in and gets fouled or loses the ball. And that's like all he can do. That's his move. And as long as he's doing the one move he's good at, I think there's value. And again, he gave however many minutes today that somebody else didn't have to play.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Halsey would be better served in a back 4 and not as a wing back. But I don't think he would agree. So I don't know what you do with him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure what Halsey's MLS position is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure. I think he's.
Well, he and Kubo can have like a support group with one another then.
I hope I'm wrong, but I think he's a 2-team, Motagua, we're already up 4-1.
Yeah.
Guy.
I mean, we saw at least all of last year, Noonan basically refused to play him. So
yeah, like again, I was shocked he was still alive. Can we talk about Kevin Denke, please.
We
Yes,
need to.
let's do that.
3 goals.
3 goals,
in
3 games.
Corey Baird with the assist. I do want to make this a Corey Baird discussion. Corey Baird Renaissance. Let's go.
Corey Baird has looked good.
He looked very good. He looked
He
really
has
good in
looked
this
good
game.
this year. He was feisty against New York Red Bull. He looked good the first game. He looked good tonight.
He did look good tonight. Reverse
the
Dave
run
Goss.
up to the assist was really good.
Oh, so good.
Second year for domestic players in the FC Cincinnati system. Big
and
jump.
I think, and he almost scored.
Yeah.
He should have scored.
He should have scored. He got very unlucky to not score. And then I think he had another pass that was like really nice that just didn't.
Also, as I said earlier, Chirilla just stole a goal opportunity from him.
Yeah, that's true. He would have scored. He would have scored that, I think.
Like a tap in.
Yep.
Chirilla was like, "Let me solo it for you." Kevin, I'm starting to think that Denke may be pretty good. This young man may have a future in soccer.
I mean, here's kind of the funny thing is that like as a one-time league record signing for like a month, there's a certain level of
almost 4 months. Let's be real.
Okay. Oh, that's true. That's true. When it was announced. Yeah. There's a certain level of like, yeah, well, he better be doing all of this, but man, he's incredible. He's just out muscling these guys. The game obviously changed once he scores. They don't have to push for a goal. They can set back a little bit more. There were certainly opportunities. So it's hard to really judge how the rest of the game went after that.
But he's not just out muscling guys.
Yeah.
He's nice with it.
Yeah.
Like he's got a soft touch.
Yeah. Smooth with it.
Like he like the little interplay, like he could have had like multiple goals tonight. And he comes back and he creates. I don't know how much that is by design and how much that is just like him like wanting to just be a part of it. I know he told Evander he likes to score, and Evander's like, I will give you some assists, but he does seem like he's capable of doing that little Brenner thing.
Yeah. It's like,
no, if he was doing the little Brenner thing, he would score 3 goals and you wouldn't hear from him for like another month.
No, I mean like coming back and like playing with the ball a bit.
Yeah. What if Brenner was as good but way more consistent? Might be Denke.
I'm a little concerned Kevin doesn't have more than 1 goal a game.
This is what Messi and Ronaldo did to like the discourse forever.
I'm concerned he can't do more than 1.3 goal contributions per game.
Right. Back in my day, if your striker scored like once every 3 games, that was a really good striker and worth their weight in gold. And now it's like, yeah, if your guy isn't bagging 2 a game, what's the point? What are we doing here? Incredible goal. Just again, the patience, the strength, the deft touch. He's got it all. He is the complete package. It's incredible to watch. Gets subbed out at halftime.
He's not going to play here in 2026.
No. No.
If like maybe, I hope so. But if I had to bet on it,
you think he'd go to like the Premier League or something? Or
yeah,
I do.
I think so.
Or like La Liga. He's got a touch.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is way early. Way early. And 2 of the games were against Motagua. But I feel like Kevin can play in any league in the world.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for it.
It's you know why you know that touch, the touch he has plays anywhere. Like, it's not like, oh, Motagua, it's real easy. You just boot the ball right past him. Like the small area control in the box, in the danger area, that's good against any competition.
But when you do boot it up against one of the best goalkeepers in the league against Red Bulls, he is able to do that as well.
Well, and to steal this take from David Goss and Soccer Wise, like that goal was him entirely outmaneuvering, outthinking a veteran Bundesliga center back.
Yeah.
From Red Bulls.
And calling for the ball early, too.
He does that. He does that point well before Yedlin makes the pass. He gives the center back that little nudge, and he makes the run, and he's there. He does it perfectly. Like he has, other than being like 6'5",
right?
What is he missing as far as like what you would want from a striker?
Honest to God,
$16 million feels like a steal. I've seen like multiple commentators say, like they like overpaid a little bit to get him early or to like get him in the league or whatever. Our take immediately was they exactly paid for him.
Yeah.
And I think they exactly paid for him.
Yeah.
If anything, underpaid.
I genuinely think that the biggest knock against him, country of origin, man. Internationally, he represents Togo. And I think, as dumb as it sounds, I think a lot of teams in Europe look at that and go, nope, I'm good.
If he had done like the French switch for youth national teams like he was recruited to, he wouldn't be on our team.
No.
I'm not saying he would play for the French national team right now, but I'm saying that like if he had played with French youth national teams, he would be in somewhere else.
Yep. You see that a lot with like Dutch national teams have a lot of guys with Dutch connections. So yeah, Denke's the real deal. Let me ask you guys this. How do we feel about Evander 3 games in to the Evander experience?
He looks like a guy that's about a month behind Denke in terms of like how much time he's had working with everybody. And he, more than Denke, as the focal point of the offense, he needs to know what everybody's doing versus Denke needs to go places and be seen by people. So I'm not worried. I thought he looked like okay tonight. I didn't think it was his best game. He also was just getting his work in tonight. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to be upset about it. He is working his way into the system. He played 45 minutes tonight. I thought he looked okay doing it. Wake me up a month from now and let me know how it's going.
Yeah, he had like a back heel that didn't quite come off to Denke.
Yeah.
And I think you see it. Like you see where you see where it was. I think we're going to see returns from him at a high level earlier than we saw them from Lucho. Part of that is like the team is in a much better place than it was, but like you see the quality.
Yeah.
With Evander. He came in the team late, and the first game was against Red Bull. Second game was against Philly. Like I think that game is going to be also like kind of ugly.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for the game against Toronto, March 8th.
Bobblehead night.
Cool. I'm
hopeful. You want to see the really good players play against a really bad team.
I'm hopeful. Well, I don't know. I don't know who's good and bad at this time.
Toronto is bad. I'll definitively stake that.
But I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see. I think we may have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
March 8th.
Yep.
Which is good because I think that's one of the games that you're not allowed to sell your tickets to, or you couldn't trade your tickets in for, something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was some restriction on selling your tickets back for that game.
I gave up my tickets to somebody else for that game, but if I'm in town, I plan to go.
Nice. I think we're done talking about this game. Is there anything else we wanted to mention? Oh, Alvis Powell was hilarious this game, doing absolutely Alvis Powell things.
Alvis Powell was the star of the game.
Yeah,
but he was in every respect.
He was the most entertaining player on the field, no doubt.
Should have had a penalty. I
he
thought
was
it was
like a
penalty.
Charlie Chaplin of this game.
Wild runs, the scissor kick attempt. Like, my man's all over.
My only other 2 thoughts on this game is
I love Alvis. I hope he never plays anywhere else.
Yeah, I would have hated the officiating.
Give him a job when he's done.
If this game would have mattered, I would have been infuriated by how poor the officiating was and how comical some of the officiating decisions were.
Pretty bad.
And other thing I want to point out, I know this is going to come off like we're glazing our guy, Evan. Nice distribution, like really nice ball when he puts it back in play. Nice with it, I think.
Yep. Traveling fans looked fun. We had one comment in the Discord said their tickets are near the away section, that they were the best away fans ever since they've been sitting there. So there you go. Perfect. Well, that'll do it for that game. The next CONCACAF Champions League match is Tuesday against Tigres. You may have already been charged for it. If you, like me, are in the orange and blue reserve, you can buy tickets now. The public sale is probably tomorrow or when you're listening to this. I don't know. Look it up. You know what to do. Should be an exciting set of fixtures. Tigres, a bit of a skid at the moment. We might be catching them at the right time. We'll see how it goes. Hey, let's head on over to part 2. We're going to answer a bunch of Patreon questions. We'll wrap it up with a Philly preview, and we'll get you out of here. So let's do it. Before we get on over to the next part of the episode, I do want to tell you about our friends over at Cincy Shirts. That is right. New year, new you. Go pick up some new threads over at Cincy Shirts. They got what you're looking for. They got Cincinnati sports. They got Cincinnati culture, Cincinnati geography, Cincinnati businesses. Everything you're looking for, they got it over there at cincyshirts.com. Hey, when you're there, use the promo code ThePostCincy, all one word, all caps. They knock 10% off your entire order for using that one. And if I don't mind dropping this one, we sell merch through Cincy Shirts. That's right. You want a Post shirt, a Cincy shirt from Cincy Shirts? Check them out. It is good stuff there. We will have new designs for the new year, but they're not there yet. So this might be your last chance to collect some of these designs. You want an Opie shirt, one of the 12. They got some good stuff there. Hey, they're not just online. They're in person as well. Go check them out in Loveland and in Northern Kentucky. They've got 2 fantastic locations. They will print on demand. You can work with them, come up with maybe a little goofy idea. They'll work with you, I promise. And again, the promo code, ThePostCincy, all one word, all caps. They knock 10% off your order. That works on Post merch as well. Want to support us twice? Absolutely, you can do that. So huge thank you again to our friends over at Cincy Shirts, and a huge thank you to you, listener, for using that code. All right, we are back, and we are on to the Patreon questions from our friends over at Patreon, our patrons, the folks that keep the show alive, afloat, and financially viable. Or something. I don't know. It really just pays like the hosting costs, and like the website is weirdly expensive. So it maintains all of that, and we very much appreciate it. Hey, if you were a subscriber to the Patreon and you're in our Discord, which is free to anybody, but you know, you can do both. And I gave away 2 Bailey tickets to this game. I had a couple of tickets, couldn't use, and they went to a good cause. Somebody was able to bring their nephews to the game. So look at that. There's perks for giving us $2 a month. The other perk you get, other than me giving away tickets once every 3 years, you get to ask us a question. There are a bunch of questions to get to.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
An update on Amir Daly. This is from Carter Chapley.
Uh-oh.
He has a shoulder injury and will be evaluated in the coming days.
Okay.
I think that's positive versus what Kevin thought.
It's true. It's not a laceration, which is the kiss of death.
I didn't say it was a laceration.
Thank God it's just a laceration.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Kevin. Or I didn't mean to.
No, that was good.
I didn't mean it in an offensive way.
No, that is good. I'm glad that he will not have to be put down with a laceration.
Yep.
So we do have some questions here. I love the names of our patrons. Cuccio asks, would you rather hear everything 8.2 seconds after it was said, or not be able to judge distance?
I think the hearing, because once you can't judge distance, that throws driving out the window.
Yeah.
and like walking on stairs.
All chess would be 2D chess.
Right. Having a game of catch would probably be horrid.
might be a death sentence, but hearing everything 8 seconds after, man. You know what is...
What do you say? You can't judge distance.
That sounds like the dream.
It gives you a moment to like be witty.
Yeah. Just be like, just having 8.2 seconds of pure peace.
So it's like living on the moon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you've got that big old delay from Houston.
And you like go down Twitter and you see like Trump's face move and you're like, I can just X this out.
But then you'll still hear it 8.2 seconds later.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The sound wave hits you either way.
Still, you can be like, oh, I'm going to change this visual to something else.
I do like the superpower of being able to see sound waves moving slowly and then giving you the option to just
if you hear things 8.2 seconds later, is that because you're generating
if you move,
is it because you're generating
miss you?
You're generating a localized field that slows things down around you. Can you use that for other superpowers? Like I can dodge bullets too.
The folks over at the particle accelerator in Switzerland or whatever could probably use you to slow down waves and sounds and particles and stuff. That could be good.
I do think it's more important to judge distance. Like I gotta like pick up stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
My instinct was to pick the judge distance thing, but
all right, done.
There you go. Mike Vesti asks, if there were an FC fusion restaurant, cuisine from players' nations crossed with Cincy foods, what would be the menu item that each of you would want to put on it?
Do they have to cross with Cincy foods?
I think you have to cross Cincinnati.
Or does it also have Cincy foods and...
I'm going to say however you want to interpret it, but you have to somehow combine, inspire.
I got it. You know, like you go to those like Brazilian steakhouses and they like you shave off like the meat or whatever.
Yes.
It's just you're shaving off like chili and cheese off a leg.
Just a chili log that you're shaving.
Yeah, it's just a chili log and you're shaving off chili and cheese.
No.
Chief is not amused. This feels like cheating, but I'll steal our good friends over at the empanadas box. I mean, a Cincinnati style empanada feels like you're crossing Argentina and Cincinnati pretty well.
I would go Japan with Yuya Kubo. And I would do when it's the Japanese fried Dunbari or just drizzle that instead of using a curry sauce on that, drizzle that with Skyline and it will be delicious.
Yeah. I like that.
I think Lucas Engels from Denmark, and Denmark was the home of I think
Katsu.
Noma.
Katsu with Katsu with Skyline.
I think Noma was like the best restaurant in the world.
They like win it like every other year now.
Yeah. So we just have Noma
just here in Cincinnati. We get whoever that chef is. He just he starts a restaurant here in Cincinnati. That'll be nice.
We just have a good restaurant here.
Alvis Powell, Jamaican Cincinnati style.
I like a Jamaican.
I feel like with a lot of these, the answer might be like Cincinnati chili, but the spice blend is a blend of spices from their country, or like whatever their predominant spice blend is.
I would do a jerk chili.
Right. Or I don't know what's going on in Togo, but I assume there's a spice blend that would taste delicious on noodles and meat.
Let the Noma guy make Cincinnati chili.
Although, have you seen
on fermented fish or whatever?
Yeah.
Have you seen that there's a certain other chili parlor in Cincinnati that's offering a Nashville hot way?
Oh,
that is
no.
That's pretty good.
I'm not interested.
I'll tell you
that.
the hot honey and Cincinnati chili, thumbs down from me. Not a fan.
I'm against it.
Not
Chief,
for me.
Chief said, there were two questions, Chief, that'll be near and dear to your heart. I want to ask them together. One of them was from Kate D, who asks, any updates on the subway organizing committee? We all need something positive to put our energy into. And then there was somebody else that said, where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. From Aaron S., who said, in light of the conversation during the live show about the effort a group of folks put in to getting the FC into MLS, can you describe what a similar group effort would look like to successfully get the Cincinnati subway built?
I have a lot of thoughts on this.
I know.
I kind of want. I would love to do this as a full episode, like during.
I would love to also do a full episode on this.
This feels like a Club World
during
Cup
a break.
Club World
episode.
Cup.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. Number one, there's a mayoral race in the city coming up where the outcome is already predetermined, but it should be an issue.
Wedge issue.
Yeah. I would make this an issue. And you want to know how you can flip some votes in this city? Here's a little bit of free advice. It would be really interesting if one of the people running for mayor in this city was, I don't know, related to one of the most powerful people in the world. And if maybe that person's half brother, step brother, whatever the relation is, pledged that they could make a $10 billion grant from the Department of Transportation appear for the Cincinnati subway if the right person was elected for mayor of this town.
It's the kind of thing that would make you forget that person is like a pastor in like a multi-level marketing conspiracy church.
Look, I'm finally getting around to watching the Nexium cult documentary on HBO. We just had a member of our team talk a little bit about fascinations with cults. So
that's true.
I'm in. You know what? I'm willing to overlook things.
Look, I'm very open-minded. It bothers me that when somebody is reported as like related to a famous person versus like a member of like a multi-level marketing scam cult.
Would you join a cult if it could guarantee Cincinnati finishing the subway, and not just finishing the subway, but finishing it as part of a true mass transit system, rail system for the entirety of Hamilton County?
I'm not going to say yes, but I would say that I would meet you at a Panera Bread about it.
I will say yes. Sign me up. I've been in a lot of cults. I've led some.
It's way more lucrative to be the founder, way more fun to be the member. Let's do a full episode on this. The answer is that there, like all things in life, there needs to be some sort of a groundswell of support, and you need to find some very rich people that want to bankroll you doing it. And Chief, I think you can probably do that in this town. I really do.
I'm telling you.
I think you need less money than you think, to be honest. I think you definitely need people. The conversations that I've had with people who I consider knowledgeable on the issue, the amount of money required is not as much as you would think. And it needs like the will and the strategy, really. But I think we need to do like a full episode on it. And I don't know when that will happen.
I think we need a Cincinnati subway political party as a one issue party. And once you start pulling votes away and you get all the pro transit Democrats to at least include your pro subway candidate on the ranked choice vote ballot or whatever, I think you start to notice when those votes start drying up. And let me tell you, it's like, what, 10,000 votes is the last place finisher on city council. Yeah. You could.
Here's what I'm finding it hard to ignore. And this is the great humor involved in all this.
Please.
We will probably be at a point in the next 2 years, say 2 years, where the vice president of the United States of America will be a Cincinnati resident or Cincinnati-ish resident.
Yeah.
The governor
We'll have heard of Cincinnati for sure.
Yeah, well, definitely. He owns an FC Cincinnati t-shirt. And the governor of the state will possibly be a Cincinnati resident or former Cincinnati resident.
Has heard of Cincinnati.
Yeah. They're just probably the wrong political party to work with the local government in Cincinnati to try and do something like this. And before you discount, oh, they would never be involved in something like this. Yeah. Cincinnati, just being a Cincinnatian and doing Cincinnati things for the glory of Cincinnati, that can override a lot of other political dogma. If you pitch it to someone as saying, but wouldn't it be cool for Cincinnati?
Right.
I think there's a certain moral flexibility that you'll find with people when that topic comes up.
You have to get like a groundswell, and you have to have a lot of other things mapped out. I think that the individuals you're talking about is certainly relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's not insurmountable.
Yeah.
You could get the business community in Cincinnati behind this easily, I would think.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll just say we won't let ride.
It's the one rule.
Yeah, you're going to have to bleep that specific word, Kevin, and just let people guess what that was.
Yeah. You will have to bleep that.
We won't let Clevelanders ride.
Yeah. That is.
I thought that was a good question. This one from Jay Walbrink says, tap the mic twice if you started another podcast and didn't tell anyone. That's good.
Who started a podcast?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, if you gotta ask, you can't afford it. Brett Sova asks, prediction: will Denke score more goals with his head or with his feet this season?
Feet.
It's definitely
left or
feet,
right,
but it's exciting to think head.
But I think he has the head, but I think he's a feet scorer.
Be an incredible player if he could do this without a head.
Hey, no, never mind. I think he scores more with his left foot. I think he's funky that way.
I'm not guessing which foot. I'm just saying feet versus head.
Coward.
I'm going to say outside of his right foot scores more goals. KP asks, of all of the FC signings that have ever happened in the history of the team, so a very small topic.
Kenny safe. Final answer.
Which were you most excited for? That's a good answer.
I will say Jurgen Locadia. I was most excited for Jurgen Locadia.
Yeah, Jurgen's a good answer. Yedlin was exciting because Yedlin was a name that I knew from a long time ago, right? Like, that's always fun to see one of those guys. In a similar way, Jeff Cameron and Matt Miazga as well, but Yedlin always felt like he had a more star power in that regard. Kind of a weird one. I had a buddy who I played indoor soccer with who was a diehard New York Cosmos fan in like all of the ways that you imagine a New York Cosmos fan is a New York Cosmos fan.
I think you're lying.
This is genuine. His name is Zach.
He's just a pro rel enthusiast. Is that all he is?
100%.
Yeah.
He was so hyped for Ledesma, and his heart was broken because he realized that like the New York Cosmos were dead when Ledesma signed with Cincinnati, that I was like very intrigued. He would not stop talking about how amazing this Emmanuel Ledesma guy was.
Since all the good answers have been taken, I'll say this. Kamahilo Makocho was supposed to be he was supposed to fix a lot that was wrong with this team.
He was supposed to be Obi.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Obi he was supposed to be like Obi plus, like Obi with like passing and like, yeah.
Obi with international fans as well. If you remember the fanfare that we got when we signed him, and then
God, what a fucking disappointment!
Awful. Like, he was terrible. Maybe one of the worst signings this team has ever made.
Got like probably like single digit minutes with the team.
And he looked terrible and slow doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
he was just coming off of an injury. Which
did he ever play again after he left us?
But we needed somebody who could play right away.
Like anyone.
Yeah, he had a moderately successful end of his career in South Africa for Kaiser Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, one of those.
And I'm not saying like I'm holding this against him personally, like as an individual.
He went 90. He went 90 last Saturday.
we needed him to play in Major League Soccer, like right away.
That was going to be too much.
Yeah, it was too much.
Him and Tyler Blackett were going to fix all the defensive issues.
Tyler Blackett also, I got nothing against the guy.
Yeah,
but like, would be like CB6 on this team.
He would struggle for minutes at FCC too, I think.
Yeah. Jeff Cameron's a good answer here too. Jeff Cameron, I was pretty hyped when we signed him.
Yeah.
I was super hyped when we signed him.
Jeff Cameron.
I was really, really hyped.
I thought twice about getting the booster. I respect Jeff Cameron so much.
Jeff Cameron treats his body like a temple, he says.
He treats his body like a temple. He expects everything to be resolved by prayer. And
the only prick allowed around here is me.
Hey, I like it. Yeah.
He ruled.
I can't believe
cool.
Jeff Cameron played here.
Yeah,
I just can't believe it.
I waited in line for coffee at the Coffee Emporium in Hyde Park behind him, and the man had aura. Like, there was aura with the dude, just effortlessly cool.
Yedlin is equal to Cameron for me. Like, I can't believe I can't believe DeAndre Yedlin plays for FC Cincinnati right now.
Designs clothes for FC Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's incredible. I love it. Like, I love this team so much. I know we like complain about all types of shit, and we do like what this team has brought to us. Like, John Harkes was a coach, Jeff Cameron was a player, DeAndre Yedlin was a player. All these is a player. All these other things, like, it's wild. It's wild.
We have real reason to believe that the United States did not do well enough at the last World Cup because they didn't call up an FC Cincinnati player.
I agree. Yeah.
Cool.
I think Brandon scores at least one goal there.
Of course. Yeah. He at least offered something different. Anyway, great questions. Let's see what else we have here.
Speaking of calling up an FC player, do you think that part of the reason why Lucho was so mad here is that he heard about the $5 million buy a citizenship thing? And like he needed the money in order to do that?
I have a very not woke take, but I understand a lot of people are upset.
That's
by
right.
that.
We're a pro-Trump podcast.
Right. Many people have noted.
I understand lots of people are upset by that idea. I will just say that almost every country on earth has a program like that. You could,
and boy, are people Googling it these days.
If you buy a $500,000 piece of property in Spain, guess what? You're a permanent resident. Congratulations.
I think if you buy $300,000 property in Portugal,
right,
you're in.
It was 50 grand in Ireland for a while. Like,
New Zealand, not that they invented the like reverse triangle merger.
Right.
Google is a Irish company now.
Yeah, Apple is Alphabet too. Yeah, they. I think Ireland regretted that, and the EU slapped Ireland on the wrist for doing that.
That's all right.
There's nothing the EU can do to Ireland that's worse than what Ireland did to itself.
or what England did to
Ireland. New Zealand.
Let's be real.
Let's be real here. Yeah, no, you're right.
This is a Republican.
This
Irish
is a
version
pro-Trump,
podcast.
Pro-Republican Ireland podcast. Always has been, always will be.
I've always stand the IRA.
No matter what country you're in, we are a Republican podcast.
we really misunderstood the idea. I think this makes us communists in Spain. So we really
we
are
support
the
the Republic of Congo and not the Democratic Republic of Congo. I don't know what that means, but we're going with it.
We're either the good guys or we're immediately canceled. I don't know which one.
Either way, you're listening, so we win.
It's $15 million in New Zealand. Not that anybody over here has been Googling
That seems like too much.
New Zealand, particularly stingy about who comes over.
Is that 15 million American or 15 million New Zealand?
I think it's a worse deal if it's New Zealand. So pick your poison. I had other questions. Here we are. Garrett and Terry's. That's how I'm going to pronounce that one. Start, bench, cut. Oh, this is mean, Garrett. Denke Evander Miazga.
No. I refuse. I refuse the premise.
I believe the deal is you ask a question, we don't answer
it. I'll give you an answer, Garrett.
How dare you?
You start Denke, you bench Evander, you cut Miazga.
Breaking news: Kevin Wallace from the Post Cincy wants to cut Matt Miazga.
We are never getting another player again.
We're never getting that.
Like Damon's going to just sit at home all the time.
I don't start. I mean,
did we have a photographer today?
I think CONCACAF does the things a little different.
That's
I know. I know.
This whole thing is just a bust.
The fact that we have some of the best photos. I'm going to put up a gallery later. We got some of the best photos, some of the best game day photos I've ever seen.
I've seen them. They're really good.
Brock Bermel asks, who's had the best goal celebration while playing for the FC?
The Brian Anunga troll celebration was like a good celebration. The one where I don't know the fuck it was. It was against New York Red Bulls where they all did like the Brian Anunga dance.
Yeah, Anunga had to do like the new guy on the team song and dance before the rest of the team, and then when Denke scored, they all mocked his song and dance. It was really good.
I like the reason it's the best for me is because
it just happened.
Well, it just happened, but also like everybody. Like all, even including like multiple new signings, like Ingle and whatnot, were like all in on it.
Yes, it's
so I like seeing that team unity.
Yeah,
I liked Kip Keller's almost goal celebration last year. Just
that was the best
the penguin
goal
slide.
Yes,
just big fan of that.
That was the best one. A little further back, there's two of them. 2019 against Portland Timbers. Kendall Waston lying on the ground and running in a circle like Homer Simpson. Lovely.
That was like a reference to his son.
Yeah, his son or his daughter like wanted him to do that or something.
Yeah, his son liked to do that thing. Somehow, and like asked Kendall to do that.
It was so good. During the COVID Hell is Real, I think it was.
The row the boat dance. Well, they got the goal called back.
That was against Portland in MLS is back. And that goal did not hold up.
No, we lost. No, I was going to say
that goal didn't. That goal was reversed on VAR.
I thought the game ended 1-1.
That game did end 1-1 and went to penalties. But FC scored, and it was Deplan, and they all did the like park the bus celebration, and that goal was overturned.
Damn. Nick Hagelin did the icky shuffle is the one I was thinking of. That was good. Good local Cincinnati reference that basically only Hagelin can do. Oh my gosh. Here you go. Here you go. Wait, I'll make that one the last one. B Grub asks, living in Central Kentucky, I can only make like 3 home games a year. Last year I went to Hell is Real, the Miami Blowout, and Orlando City. What are the 3 must attend home games this coming season?
Dallas, Columbus, and I don't know. Pick one we're going to beat the shit out of them. Toronto.
Yep. I agree.
Bobblehead night.
I think if you Dallas, Columbus, and then like whatever else you can make.
DC United.
I think it's a great game experience no matter what game you come to.
I'd agree with that.
I might be tempted to say that Tigres game next week because I'll bet tickets are going to be pretty cheap to it from people that forgot to opt
out. Leagues Cup Monterey home.
Ooh, that'd be fun. That'd be a good one. Do the Club World Cup games count? Maybe attend one of those.
Maybe somebody plays in that game will play for the team later this year. Who knows?
Yeah, good point.
Many people noting.
I just realized I had 2 questions down here that I did not ask. 3 questions, then we'll wrap it up. 4 questions. How do more keep showing up? Redbeard asks, what's the best piece of advice you've been given that turned out to be correct?
If you absolutely have to be somewhere, take the first flight out in the morning and never stay in a franchised hotel.
I like that.
Thanks, Dad.
I don't have an answer for this.
Time goes by faster than you think.
Sure.
That one is true. That one has stuck with me. Yeah. A fun one to think about. Be willing to spend money on anything that separates you from the ground. So, tires, shoes, a bed. It's good advice. David Riddle asks, this was 3 weeks ago, so bear with David. He did not ask this recently. Given the Lucho statement today.
Oh, boy.
This was from Laurel. Now, it is not a time-sensitive question, but the context is from 3 weeks ago. I think there's a new entrant to the list of FCC classified documents we'll never get. I think the Miazga tapes were the winner of the what would you like release question last year. So would you all rather have the Miazga tapes or the Lucho Albright in brackets unanswered text logs?
Miazga tape, 100%.
I would like the Lucho text logs just to see what he was being left on red with.
Yeah.
Or if, like, he's getting hit with the passive aggressive thumbs up on stuff too.
I love the tap back thumbs up.
That just doesn't count as he's not answering my text. He's just hitting me with the emoji reaction each time.
A lowercase K. Just I responded, man. What do you want from me?
What do you want from me, man?
Or like a terrible Tinder connection where it's just like everything you get is yeah. Sometimes.
Or even better, to find out that Lucho is an Android person and Chris wasn't responding back because he doesn't like green bubbles.
I like that a lot. Michael P. asks, I would take the Miazga tape, but I appreciate that the Lucho one actually does make me think about it.
The answer is still always the Ron Jans karaoke tape.
God, I just want the song.
I'm not sure there's a tape for that, but I know there's some Miazga tape. Like, I know in my heart there's a Miazga tape.
Michael P. asks, what are the best cheap seats in TQL? Now, I think the obvious answer is the Bailey.
Yeah,
but
no idea.
If it's not the Bailey, I think I've said this before. I feel confident in saying I've sat in and had a ticket for the most number of unique seats of anybody in the fan base. I have lived a weird life as an FC Cincinnati fan, and I can honestly tell you there is not a bad seat in the stadium. I have sat in what is probably the worst seat, which is the half section that ends up behind the Bailey. This still is a good seat. Wouldn't recommend it though. The best cheap seats though are just off of midfield on the second level. That's good.
Yeah, first row, second level of any section is going to be a great cheap seat.
Yep. Yeah, those are good. But the Bailey, come on, you can't beat the Bailey. You want a really good cheap seat? Get Bailey tickets and then stand at the Coors Bar.
Yeah,
that's a good time too. Scott Wilson. Yeah. Scott Wilson asks, what is a circle you need to close or a story in your life that still needs a resolution? Now, Scott typed out a very long story that I do not want to blow his spot because he says I don't have to read this on air, and he does not want his spot blown up. But he was babysitting after a some wisdom teeth were extracted, and he spent the night over there. And apparently, the stitch broke, bled everywhere, and I'm
glad he got that out.
Yeah. No, this is good. This is good.
This is not relevant to the whole to the question.
But he
men would rather just like write their entire life story into a Patreon question than go to therapy.
Yes. It's a good thing. I will not blow up your spot entirely, Scott. Just know it's a very funny story. I have a story that comes to mind that has ate at me for a long time, and I don't know any way to resolve this without coming across as a creep. So maybe this is me going to therapy with the two of you. So in high school, had a
you were a creep.
Okay. Yeah, it's answered. Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So in high school, had like a little high school girlfriend or whatever. We broke up, and somebody who was not me, to be clear, kept calling her house as like a prank call, and she assumed it was me. And I had heard through the grapevine that it was me. So knowing that I can't reach out to her because obviously this is a burnt bridge, I reached out to her sister to be like, hey, just so you know, this isn't me. And she said immediately, leave my family alone. This is getting to be too much. And I don't know how to approach this situation anymore. It was just me.
You just take the L, I think.
And that's what I've done for however long it's been. But some deep part of me just wants to be like, it wasn't me, to be clear.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It was you for all intents and purposes.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate, but it was you. You did it.
Yeah. Hopefully they were funny, at least. Like on some level, I hope the prank calls were funny.
They definitely weren't funny
or something.
They were definitely weird. They were definitely creepy.
Yeah. Sorry.
Damn. Well, Allie and your family, I apologize. So
what is this? It's just like a loose end in your life that is just like dangling out somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe even like an anonymous confession that you're broadcasting to the world.
Or an anti-confession.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I left a jacket on a bus once in New Orleans and I really miss it. I'd like to go back and get that jacket.
That's a good one.
And it was stupid. I could have just gone and picked it up at wherever like the bus company was. And I just never did.
It might still be there.
It's New Orleans, probably
not. Brian Giles asks, Grayson, my wife and I really enjoy Denzel, I assume, Washington's work overall. Recently, we tried watching The Tragedy of Macbeth. This is why I assume Denzel Washington. And she made it 2 minutes and gave up. Then 5 minutes later, made me turn it. Should we force our way through it and find a way to appreciate it? Or is it just not that good? Kevin in Chief, can Grayson be trusted on matters of culture?
I haven't seen The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Wow.
So I haven't seen this thing with Denzel. I would say you should push through.
Is that your advice with any bad movie, or I mean, do you cut?
Yeah, like generally yes.
Okay,
like, but also like what's the worst that possibly happens if you push through? You see like 2 hours of a Denzel performance.
That's true.
Like, it's gonna be fine.
You could probably find something to appreciate, even if it's not the story or the acting or something.
And like Macbeth also like is not a play where it's like, oh. Like Macbeth is a play where it's like, yeah, like you might not love like the very beginning,
right?
But like let it roll a bit.
That's true.
You know, like
I assume the first 5 minutes are pretty weird.
You're only getting more Denzel, and that's pretty good.
If folks are not familiar, this is a all black and white, extremely artsy retelling of Macbeth,
done by
Apple.
I think Joel Cohen with Frances McDormand as Lady Macbeth. But here's the kicker. Denzel plays Macbeth.
Of course.
And so you get to see Denzel the whole time.
Come on.
Most of the time.
To answer
Not the time with the, crones or whatever they are.
To answer the question, no, Grayson cannot be trusted on matters of taste.
I was going to say Grayson's the only one that can be trusted on matters of culture. That does it for Patreon questions. It is a perfect layup to where I want to go next. I will say Drizzle did not ask a question, but commented, kit revealed 10 out of 10. The actual kit is awful and looks like it was made by AI.
False. It looks so good on the field.
It looks fine.
It looks way better on the field than it did in pictures. But Grayson, did you want your Academy pictures?
I do want to do so. The Academy Awards this weekend.
Yes.
So I think that we as a group should pick what we think will win the main awards. So by the main awards, I think Best Picture, Best Director, and the 4 acting awards.
Okay.
And I don't know if anybody if anybody has picked watched all these movies or whatever. But so
that will not stop me.
So I will list the nominees for each of the awards.
Okay.
And we'll pick one that should win. So Best Picture. Actually, let's go back. Let's start with the acting. So Best Actor in a Supporting Role. Yura Borisov for Honora. Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown. Guy Pearce for The Brutalist. And Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. Have you guys seen any of these movies?
No, but that will not stop me from guessing and make an educated guess here.
I have not. And my instant reaction is that Guy Pearce is probably one of those people that should win an Academy Award at some point, just based on, hey, it's that guy body of work. So he feels like someone that is overdue to receive his one Oscar randomly out of nowhere after a career in Hollywood.
My vote is for Yura Borisov. Because I don't think Honora is going to win any other awards. So
did you see Honora?
No, of course not.
Oh, okay. I
haven't seen any of these. Okay. This is why I am making very, very strong takes.
Okay. I love it. Kieran Culkin has won all the awards to date, but I would go with Chief. And I think Guy Pearce should win it because I saw The Brutalist and I think Guy Pearce is incredible in it. So the post choice is Guy Pearce.
Like Perfect. That for us. Love that for us.
Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Monica Barbaro for Complete Unknown. Ariana Grande for Wicked. Felicity Jones for The Brutalist. Isabella Rossellini for Conclave. And Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez.
So my instant reaction on this is that I have heard of Emilia Perez and Zoe Saldana.
Sorry, Emilia Perez.
Zoe Saldana. That was Uhura, and she was
Zoe
also
Saldana.
She was also one of the blue people in Avatar. I don't see the Academy honoring a blue person from Avatar. So I'm going to go with Isabella Rossellini, Conclave. This feels like a foreign spot right here. The Conclave concept hot in the streets. We may have a new pope soon. Get well soon, Frank. So I'm going to say Conclave Isabella Rossellini here.
Kevin, what's your vote?
So my vote is for Ariana Grande.
Now, see, I thought about this, but they don't want. She looks like Skeletor right now, and I don't think they want that look coming up to accept an Academy Award.
I think the Academy Awards they've been trying to make more of an effort to reaching out to the big blockbuster movie. I think this is where they make up some ground.
All right. I'll break the tie. And I'll say the Post official choice is Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez.
All right. I didn't think the Academy would go there. I was not familiar with their game.
So the Post official choice
leaning
is Zoe
but
Saldana for Emilia Perez.
I like it.
Best actor in a leading role. It's Adrian Brody for The Brutalist.
No.
Timothée Chalamet.
Final answer. You don't need to read anything else. It's Timothée Chalamet.
Domingo for Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice.
Look, I love Luke
Chief's
Skywalker.
Choice is Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown.
Despite him wearing crew gear recently at a press event, I will also vote for.
I mean, Chalamet's perform on College Game Day alone is worth the actor in a leading role Oscar. Wouldn't hate Sebastian Stan here, future Luke Skywalker, but Timothée, please, for me.
Okay, so the Post official choice, despite my choice, which my choice for the record would be Adrian Brody, The Brutalist. The Post official choice is Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown as somebody named Bob Dylan.
Never heard of him.
The best actress in a leading role, it's Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez, Mikey Madison for Honora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here.
Kevin, this is where I think that they go where you were saying about actress in the big Hollywood blockbuster. So I'm going with Cynthia here. That would be my pick.
Despite it also having been my pick for supporting actress, I would like the Post's pick to be Cynthia Erivo, so I will vote for her. This is strategic voting.
The Post choice for best actress in a leading role is Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. For the record, I would have gone for Demi Moore for The Substance, but the Post pick is Cynthia Erivo for Wicked.
We're good at this.
All right. Best directing. Sean Baker for Honora. Brady Corbet for The Brutalist. James Mangold for A Complete Unknown. Jacques Audiard for Emilia Perez. And Coralie Fargiat for The Substance.
I'm going to cast my vote for Brady Corbett. Is that how you pronounce it?
Corbet. I think it's Corbet.
Yeah, that's probably right. That's going to be my vote for the Brutalist.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Either that or the Honora director would be my pick.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do the tie, and I'm going to go with Brady Corbet for The Brutalist. Although I agree with Chief that I would accept either Brady Corbet or Sean Baker.
I like this award.
Okay, best picture.
Oh boy.
It's a tough one. Because there's 10. It's a lot of words to say.
You got this. We believe in you.
So, best picture, Honora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2.
Hell yeah.
Emilia Perez.
I did see a movie nominated for Best Picture. That's exciting.
Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked.
I'm always suspect of Best Picture nominees who don't have like any other of the major awards nominated. So looking at you, Nickel Boys, Dune Part 2, it's going to be tough to overcome. Let me ask you this, Grayson, as somebody who has probably seen or is at least aware of most of these, which one of these movies, because I assume there is one, is about the movie or film industry or about movie making?
Yeah, so there's two.
Okay, good.
The Brutalist and The Substance.
Okay, so The Brutalist will win Best Picture.
I think so too.
The Academy Awards are way too predictable in that sense.
I think it's gonna be Conclave. I think the papacy is hot in the street right now. Like many people talking about the papacy. The throne of St. Peter is about to change hands. Hopefully not. Like I said, we're pulling for you, Frank. I know you're a big listener of the postcast, one of the 12. Loves him some Argentinians. I'm sure he has some takes on Lucho Acosta in that situation. So Father, we're pulling for you, and
Papa.
for that reason, Papa, I think that for that reason, I'm going out on a Catholic limb right here in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Conclave is winning Best Picture.
Padre.
I think
Feeling
he's
Espiritu
a
Santo.
Espiritu Santos.
he's a San Lorenzo fan.
I'll say that. I'll say this. Well, I don't know. Does anybody know which team Il Papa supports?
I'm pretty sure it's San Lorenzo.
I have no idea. But I would say that I did love Conclave. I thought it was an excellent film. But I am going to go with The Brutalist, and I really feel like if any film wins that's not The Brutalist, it's kind of a joke. But I would add that I also liked Anora very much. And Anora won the Producers Guild, Directors Guild, and Writers Guild awards. And the only other film to win all those awards and not win Best Picture was Brokeback Mountain. It lost to Crash.
Oof.
And The Brutalist is a much better movie than Crash. So
Does it have Ludacris in it though?
it does not.
Does not
So
have
that's the problem.
Ludacris Bridges.
So it probably will win.
All right.
Anyway,
Don't come
that's where we are.
crawling back to the chief when the Catholics come up on top, when the papists once again reign supreme.
Dude,
And,
Conclave is so good.
I just want to quickly read this story from the New York Post, one of our sister
Our
outlets.
sister publications. A fellow right-wing publication.
The New York Post and the Washington Post, fellow right-wing newspapers. The title of it was Pope Francis hoists trophy of his favorite soccer team, December 18th, 2023. And it reads, Vatican City, that's the dateline. Pope Francis celebrated his beloved San Lorenzo victory in the
Classic.
Argentine Soccer Championship Wednesday.
Has there ever been a San Lorenzo player to play for FC Cincinnati? I don't think so.
Don't think so, but if I had to pick one, Ledesma's the most
It would be
likely
Ledesma
suspect.
is the most likely because he's played for so many teams. Yeah.
It's just a numbers game. Oh, beautiful. Hey, we did all of the Patreon questions. I appreciate everybody. Based on movies I saw this year that were released this year, I think Moana 2 sweeps for me. It's not a good movie. I don't get out much.
Similarly speaking, Captain America Brave New World will not be competing for any of these awards anytime soon. I should watch Conclave this weekend. That'll be my thing, as I'll watch Conclave.
I'm going to tell you, Conclave is quite good.
Yeah.
I know there are people that are going to, I know there are like Conclave haters. I think they're stupid.
Ooh.
It was on my
I don't think they're just wrong. I think they are stupid. But we can talk about it.
No,
later.
actually, I want to talk about this with you, Grayson. Two things. One, actor and actress, separate categories. How do we feel about this? It's fine until we get a non-binary.
Well, Carla Sofia Gascon is nominated for Best Actress.
So how do they decide that?
Well, she identifies as a woman, which I'm fine with.
Right. But should there be male and female director? Should there be a threshold vote?
I agree. Like, I think it's a question. Like,
yeah.
I think, but I also think like it's a question that goes to the heart of like, what's the point of like awards and competitions of like
Mhm.
art against art,
Right.
you know? Like, it's a silly thing to do in the first place.
Yeah. It defeats the purpose of what the Academy Awards has built itself up over the years, but I do think having
But I've long, like years and years ago,
yeah,
been arguing like, why do we even have like best actor versus best actress? Like, why don't we
Right.
also have like best lady director or best
Right.
lady writer?
right. And
Like it's, and
Yeah.
like I understand that part of it might be there's like a traditional dynamic versus like a leading man and the leading lady and the
Right,
supporting
of
man,
course.
supporting lady, and those were like delineated categories. But if anything, like directing and writing were more
right.
Closed off from like women.
The
They're
first
like the acting
female
categories.
best director was what, Kathleen Bigelow for Hurt Locker, like
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like there's always been like jobs for actresses. Like you can argue over like whether they were like equally like ripe.
Compensated or kept in the same esteem. Yeah.
But like, yeah, like you're saying, like the first woman to like win Best Actress was like yesterday.
Yeah, best director. But yeah.
Best director. Yeah. Sorry.
So I find that a little weird. I also think that the Academy Award should go to a sort of Hall of Fame, like baseball Hall of Fame vote, where like if you receive an approval thumbs up, thumbs down from 75% of the Academy, 80% of the Academy, then you could win the award. So maybe some years you'd have 4 Academy Award winning actors and actresses, and other years you may only have 1. I would set it
I support that. I would also support like a year where there would be like no winners.
Yeah.
Like the Pulitzer, like sometimes there's no winners.
Yeah.
It'd be great to get everybody together at the theater right there. They start applauding and just no one is allowed up on stage.
Like Gravity's Rainbow was like the consensus pick for the Pulitzer. And then the jury was like, no.
It doesn't rise to the level of
like in the Hall
years.
of Fame. Like there doesn't need to be somebody who makes the Hall of Fame. But it's just nobody.
Yeah, this is a bad couple of years in the league. All right, what do you want from us?
Yeah.
I also want your take on Emilia Perez. A lot of people hated on this movie tremendously. From what I read, it appeared to be good reasons to hate on this. Do you approve of the hate? Do you join in the hate?
I think it's an enjoyable movie. It is nonsense. It is fucking crazy. It is like all the critiques that are like, oh, this movie doesn't care about Mexico.
Right.
It doesn't care about trans people. Those are all correct. Zoe Saldana is incredible in this movie. Like the movie for one is definitely entertaining. And for two, Zoe Saldana is really, really good in this movie.
Yeah. And it is escaping me. There was it called Metropolis? Was it a remake of Metropolis?
It was Megalopolis.
Megalopolis. That's
Francis
it.
Ford Coppola.
Yes.
I haven't seen that movie yet.
Okay. I wanted your take. If you haven't seen it,
that feels like a movie that we should watch. We were talking about trying to go see it together.
We should do Megalopolis.
We should. My brother, who is the cinephile in our family, got like opening night tickets and said it's the most insane theater experience
We
he
should
ever
do
had.
Megalopolis for the next international break.
Yes. Done. Booked.
Which I think is in March.
So like what? Like we got content lined up here. We got the Subway episode. We got a Megalopolis episode. And we'll play D&D, and that'll get us all the way through the Club World Cup.
That'll get us to 2027.
Yeah, we'll be perfectly fine. Okay, that's enough beating around the bush here. Let's do 5 minutes on Philadelphia and get out of here. All right, we are back. There is a match this weekend. I got to tell you, if you stuck with us to this point, God bless you. You are a sicko of the highest order, and I appreciate you personally. The FC will play the once beloved Philadelphia Union by this club. I don't know where that stands now with Jim Curtin no longer in the picture and what feels like everybody else having left because they didn't like Ernst Tanner. But we go to Subaru Park. It will be Philadelphia's home opener for them. It is March 1st. Head to head, you'll be happy to know that they have 7 wins. We have 5 wins. There have been 3 draws. Historically, though, in the recent past, they have only beat us once, going back through 2020. That can't be right. Yeah, once going back to 2022.
Cool.
Twice since 2022.
This is
once
great.
In the playoffs.
This is great research right on the fly right here. This is what you tune in for.
Did I just pull up FOTMob real quick and just read the head-to-head tab? I sure did, folks. That's why you pay us $2 a month.
Love it.
I think we launch a full-strength lineup at them. I guess that's really the biggest question is how much do we hold back with Tigres on Tuesday?
I think
none.
I think you hold nothing back. I think the only question that I have is when is Luka going to start rotating into this team? I don't know that if he's been training or not, but that would be the only question I would have is Luka fit enough to get 20 minutes a run, 30 minutes a run in this match, which would make him potentially available for that Tigres match. You would like his first match back not to be Tigres at home, but you know, it is what it is. He's going to be back in the starting lineup as soon as he's fit and as soon as he's trained enough. So otherwise, I would expect, because of how well things went tonight and how much rest they were able to give people, I would expect a full armed and fully operational battle station attacking Philly.
Philadelphia last time out beat Orlando City 4-2. It looks on paper a little fluky. Orlando had more of the momentum, more of the shots, more XG, more big chances, 8-3 when it comes to big chances, but it ended up 4-2. Philadelphia, I'll say, is a team at the beginning of the season I did not expect much from. That result does have me sort of reassessing things, but we'll see what it looks like when we play them.
I feel like the Philadelphia game model is like,
yeah,
you know, you could suck, you could be really good, you could lose or win any game.
Yeah. So long as Kevin Sullivan doesn't score against us, I think I'll be happy. That would be pretty tough to come back from.
Okay, so put your prediction out there right now on this. Will Kevin Denke make it 4 for 4?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, going based on past performance.
How could you not be? Yes, he's 3 for. He's 100%. There's just what he does.
Jack Elliott doesn't play there anymore.
Yep. Which is nice. Before the season, when we ran through our predictions, we had this as a 2-1 win for the FC. How are we feeling about that prediction now? How do we feel about our predictions tonight? What are we thinking?
It was a we could have done better in that spot. I don't think that's a good prediction. I think it's 3-1 FC.
Ooh.
I'm going 4-2 FC.
I like that. Reverse their score line on them. I will go 2-0. I think those 4 goals are a fluke. I don't think they're a very good team. Is there any other predictions we want to make for this game? Do we see Nick Hagglund in this game?
Yes.
No, I see that Nick Hagglund makes his debut in Cincinnati against Tigres at some point.
Ooh, late game sub against Philly, start against Tigres?
No. They will put the first team center back especially with Miazga still out. It will be first team Flores, Robinson, and Hidebe against Tigres, I would think.
Damn.
But Denke scores, Evander scores, and
Baird. Let's go.
Bears do. No, I'm going to say Angle. Angle scores as well.
I like that. If we go based on like law of averages, Baird should win the Golden Boot this year. I think that's how that works.
Sure, why not?
I think he's owed something like 40
I think
goals.
on that note, if we're saying Baird's winning the Golden Boot, it's time for this podcast to end.
What? Chief, get us out of here quick.
Fuck Columbus.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Cincy Postcast. It is a production of The Post Cincy. You can check us out at thepostcincy.com or just click a link in the description to check out some of our written work. It also has links to our social media accounts across all sorts of different platforms, including YouTube, where we are trying to do more and more video content. Please, dare I say it, like and subscribe and leave a comment. But no, that would be really, really helpful. I also want to give a thank you to Jim Trace and the Makers. They're a local Cincinnati band who provided all of the music for this episode. We love having them on board. You can check them out. Again, link in the description of this episode to find out where they might be playing shows next or where you can listen to more of their music. Also want to give a massive, massive thank you to the awesome and very attractive patrons over on Patreon. It is a voluntary subscription that people take out with no real promise of anything extra that keep this show afloat. And we are so, so thankful to those of you that have decided to take that commitment. If you do like the show, or at least just want to engage with other people who have listened to the show and want to talk about FC Cincinnati, MLS, soccer, or really anything else, you can go on over to Discord. Again, link in the description. Lots of links in the description where you can find a link to the Discord. That's where we are keeping the conversation going 24/7. It feels like it's a really fun group of people in there just talking about FC Cincinnati. And like I said, just about everything else. And finally, I'll say it. If you liked this episode, and given the fact that you've made it all the way to the end, I have to assume you either like it or for some reason cannot reach the stop button. Please share this episode with a friend or family member or someone who likes FC Cincinnati. The best way for us to grow is from a personal recommendation from somebody who likes it. And if that's you, please tell other people. And if you don't have any friends, feel free to give us a review on whatever your podcast platform of choice is. We'll take anything we can get. But again, a huge, huge thank you to everybody for listening to this show. I am blown away that anybody listens to this. So again, I well and truly mean this. Thank you so much for listening.